So, Ed, thanks for having a conversation with me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Just for our audience to know out there, you are one of the most prolific magicians in today's time.
Wow, thank you.
Recently, Variety magazine, about 5 years ago, did it. So you're like the top 10 most famous magicians.
They did.
You were on that.
That advertisement cost me a lot. That was no, it was nice. I don't know how they dug my name out of a hat or what, but yeah, it was nice to be listed with great magicians like David Copperfield and Penn and Teller and Chris Angel. And I mean, I was near the bottom of the list, but still, I was on the list, right?
Yep.
That's a start. Yeah.
The start. Well, certainly deservedly so, though. You're very busy. As additional to performing consistently, you also consult a lot.
Do a lot of background work for, helping other, performers, pop stars, or behind the scenes in television series and things, creating magic and special effects for that stuff. I almost like doing that even more, because then I get to create magic that I wouldn't do in my show, which is kind of goofy and then has a surprise. But when you're working with like a pop star or like a dramatic television series, you get to be a little more creative and do something that seems a little edgier and a little more fun than, looking like this. So. Yeah,
certainly. And you mentioned television as well. You were the magic consultant for How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
The entire run?
For the whole run. I knew Neil when he was 16, when he came to LA from Albuquerque to do Doogie Howser. And so I would go and hang out with him in his trailer in between the Doogie Howsers, teaching him magic and stuff. And then one day he said to the director, he said, could Doogie maybe do a trick, on the show? And they said, sure, what do you want to do? So I put a little something together for him, and that's how my kind of behind the scenes started, was working for him back then on the Doogie Howser episodes, where he would make a flower appear or a little flash of smoke or whatever. So yeah, when How I Met Your Mother came along, it just seemed natural for me to go in and work on even bigger things. We put him in a Houdini water torture cell and had big giant fire effects, and they had a big budget, so we could do all kinds of things. So yeah, he's great to work with, and he's a big lover of magic. So
right. Former president of the Academy of Magical Arts.
Yeah.
Speaking of Academy of Magic Arts, as far back as I can track, knowing your history,
yeah,
for you, I know that's you were performing there.
That's where I started. Yeah, when I was a kid in the junior member society for members under 21, you still have to go and audition. It's actually harder to become a junior member than it is a regular member, because it's more like a Cub Scout troop, except you're getting your merit badges, whittling down things you would be creating magic, either close-up or stage or parlor. So that's what I did for years and years before I was 21. Would go to these meetings and create magic, and I was able to study with some of the greatest magicians and performers of that time, like Di Vernon, and of course Siegfried and Roy would come in and do lectures for the guys and gals. So that's kind of where I got my start into really taking magic seriously. Mm-hmm. And then years later, and I started to perform more at the Magic Castle. Then the members, they vote every year on winners for different categories in the different rooms that they have at the Magic Castle. They have a close-up room and a parlor and a stage. And I had been nominated for the stage category and won Stage Magician of the Year 2 years in a row. Then I won the Comedy Magician 2 years in a row. And then in 2009 they gave me the Magician of the Year, which is really the coveted one, because that's the one that David Copperfield and Penn and Teller and Chris Angel, all of those, we share that kind of common bond with that award. So that's a really nice one, and it's neat because it's other magicians voting for you as opposed to just the regular audience that comes to the Magic Castle. I think that's what makes it neat, is that my peers seem to like what I do, and that's huge. Love that.
Yeah, well, what you do is very unique. One of your nicknames is the Misfit of Magic.
Yep.
You subvert the idea of the suave, sophisticated magician wearing the shirt unbuttoned with the chest hair sticking out, and
that's right.
You take inspiration from many classic film stars.
Yeah.
How did that all come about, where you created this character?
It actually came backwards. First, I just wanted to have a look. And I went to an audition for an acting thing once, and the casting director said, put on my glasses and read the part again. And I put on her glasses and I read the part again. She says, it really changes your face a lot. It's like a whole nother dimension. She said, go out and get some glasses, some fake ones or sunglasses, and bust the lenses out, whatever, and start going on your auditions like that. And I did, and it turned over like overnight. I started getting parts in commercials. Then in 1989, Saved by the Bell audition came along. I auditioned for that. And there were hundreds of guys that they looked at for the part of Max. And I went in with the glasses and my spiky hair, which kind of came together, you know, when I was trying to create this character. It was about 1985, 86, and I was looking for the look. So the glasses stayed, and then I wanted to do something different with my hair. And the rest, I wanted to kind of look normal, like a classic magician. And that way gives me the license to kind of bumble around a little bit and make the tricks so that maybe some of them don't work, and then at the end, a big surprise. I like to create magic that seems funny, seems like it's going wrong, and then at the end I'm able to resurrect the whole thing and like, wow, you know, a girl appears out of a box that was on fire a second ago or whatever. So I like those kind of surprises. So yeah, my early trainings with the Magic Castle Juniors is what helped all of that kind of come together. And wow, yeah, it's been a fun, amazing journey doing this.
Do you have a personal favorite trick and one you do for the audience?
Well, my favorites change every year. This year, my favorite trick is called the chair production. It was invented by a magician named Hans Klock. And it's an empty chair, and you cover up the chair with a cloth, and you pull the cloth off, and there's a girl sitting there motionless, just sitting, as though she was there all along. That's my new favorite. And I think the reason is because the audience is totally shocked, and it's so fast and quick. And I kind of renamed the trick the best seat in the house. Because I tell the audience, you know, all the seats are great in the theater, but this seat is the best seat in the house. And unfortunately, it's already taken, and then bam, she appears. I think that's my new favorite one.
This is what I would consider to be the best seat in the house. But there is one problem, though. It's already occupied.
I have so many favorites now, so many good pieces. You know, magic to me is like a songwriter writing songs. It's hard to go, which songs are your favorite, you know. I like to sing them all, but some of them I sing better than others.
Then, oopsie little poop. Yeah, that's your part. Yes, sure, check it out. With some pizzazz, like a hop. What the hell are you doing here? It's just so easy to... Yes! Now this is what makes the stunt so dangerous, the knives that I'll be throwing to try and break the 4, possibly 5, 6 balloons you're concealing. How do you feel, nervous? You should be. You should be. I'm not that good. Oh, look, here it is, the blindfold. Come on, that's for me. That's for me. That's not a good idea. Let's try it over here. There we go. Perfect. And tell me your name again. What is it? Don. Don. All right, Don. Good memory. Don, wait right there. Don't move. This is the dangerous part of the show. Let me have a drum roll, please. The first one zooming. Right over Don's shoulder, attempting to burst one of the 4 balloons. I hope I don't miss it again. Here we go, Don. Up! And looky there, Don, you won't believe it. I got 4 out of 4. Weren't you? I thought so, because the brown paper here is a little messy. Brown spotted paper. Oh, looky here, one more knife. Could we do another throw starring you? Something a little more dangerous. Let me get another balloon. This time, I'd like to place Balloon number 5 on your head. Someone was excited over there about that. They were like, whoa! How about here? Give me a little space right there, dummy. Is that okay? What do you got to lose, right? Just a little space. What are you doing? Tucking and folding? What's going on here? You need a lot of room to work with? Is that it? There we go. Gigante, gigante. Whoa. Just like at home, huh? Okay. Right, give me a little space there. Here it comes. Okay, squeeze. He's horny. Okay, let me have a timpani roll, please. Yeah, that's very good. Don't move. You're gonna see the knife come swooshing down, just missing your huevos. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Go hold this, man. That's better. Right, hold on a second. I think I may have overestimated. That's the one.
Had become one of the main attractions in all of Cedar Fair parks.
Yes, I think quite by accident, because when the parks started to add live entertainment to their Halloween haunt, it's a very specialized kind of entertainment that you need for this, because people are coming out and they're getting scared. It's a little more adult oriented. So years ago, I guess it was maybe around 1995-ish, maybe a little before, I started at Knott's Berry Farm in the Birdcage Theater, which is a small theater, but it's like the size of a comedy club. So that's where I kind of developed figuring out what the Halloween haunt audience wanted. So my first year was okay, but then I kind of knew what would work, and year after then I would change and make improvements or whatever. And then finally, when they offered me to do the big giant show, then of course I knew exactly what to do in there, and I had already kind of, you know, put together the ideas that would entertain the audience in a good and naughty way. You know, that way I look like the little bad boy of magic up there.
Welcome to the Psycho Circus of Magic and Mayhem. Tell me, are you ready for some Halloween fun here tonight? We have a fantastic show planned for you, but before we continue, what do you think of these dancers? Aren't they talented? Come on! And guess what, gentlemen? They'll be back later in the show. Thank you so much, ladies. Take your time. Take it. They're dirty. Okay.
And it worked out perfect. And now all the Cedar Fair parks, you know, they're always asking me, you know, when you're available for Halloween Haunt, we want you. So I think I've done about half of their parks that they own for Halloween Haunt. Kings Island in Ohio, and Kansas City Worlds of Fun. Of course, here at California's Great America in Santa Clara. Knott's Berry Farm is one of my favorites. So yeah, they have a lot of good parks, and it's just lucky for me that I can do a few years of Halloween haunts at one park and then move to another one and kind of keep the same show going, but maybe change the material a little bit. But I think it makes it fun. It's made kind of a weird following for Halloween fans to see what I do. It works out great. It's nutty.
Hear that sound? Here she comes. She's lovely, she's talented. She's the original Walking Dead. It's Anorexia. Good evening, Annie. Nice to see you're finally out of the closet. I've got more at home. Look at you working your fingers to the bone, huh? Oh, the bunny's all cold and wet. We'll put him in the super duper high-powered bunny fluffing machine. Oh! Oh, darn it, I had it set too high that time. Oopsie. And there she goes. That's Annie. Let's see that. Thank you.
But what's nice is Knott's Berry Farm was the very first one that started the Halloween haunt, and now all of their other parks kind of follow the thumbprint that they've put down. And it just gets better and better with every park that it goes to, because there's so many young, new creative people that are putting their hands into the recipe and making it even more fun and amazing. So I think it's a great fun event, and I look forward to it every year.
Yeah, certainly. Everyone at the parks you come to fight for you and like can't wait for you to get there and everything. What has that process been like? Because my understanding is it started in '95 and then all of a sudden, what was it, just unlimited budget and you did whatever you wanted to do? Or?
Well, when I was doing those birdcage shows, it was basically just me and one girl and one stagehand. Once we branched out to doing these bigger production shows, then we needed to hire 4 or 5 dancers. Now we had a crew of 15, you know, a whole crew out in front running projections and audio and lights, and then a big, you know, tech crew backstage. It mainly changed by the need to add more visual elements, bigger illusions. One year I made a Corvette disappear on stage. So it means that the magic needs to be bigger, and it's a big theater. You know, when you come into a gigantic theater, especially the one that Knott's has, you expect to see kind of big visual elements. Mm-hmm. And I was able to do that. And sometimes with magic that's difficult because a lot of the better tricks are small things, yep. You know, like the balloon swallowing and whatever. So yeah, that's why I like to add the big illusions and the dance numbers. And I think it makes, you know, people always say, you know, what would your Vegas show look like? Well, this is what it would look like. It would be fun and naughty and have great talented dancers and crazy magic. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it's all working out, and I look forward to doing these again and again. I'm always thinking of ideas even for next year's show.
Yeah, you're always thinking about new shows. You mentioned the dancers.
Yes.
You have some very advanced illusions in your show, which require a lot of technical elements. Regarding your dancers, what is the process like to try and find dancers for?
Well, initially we try and find girls that are the right size, because sometimes hiding in magic spaces can be very tight. This year's cast is actually made up of some little ones and some really tall ones, because I wanted to put some tall showgirl type girls in the show. So when they pop out of the box as the tall girls, I think it's even more amazing. There's one illusion we're doing in the show called Phantom Cage, where I produce 4 girls out of an empty box, and they just get taller and taller and taller. But I think that's what makes it kind of fun for the audience, is that I'm mixing comedy with really good, strong illusion. And that's an amazing thing, is to get a dancer who's never been in a magic box before. And the reason that dancers work so well is, A, they're very flexible, they're always warming up and ready. But the nice thing is that when the girl finally does appear out of the box, they have a great grace and elegance in the way that they move and come out of the box that only a dancer would know. And I think that makes the nice flourish, the ta-da at the end. And then if they're in some kind of a skimpy costume and they do a little dance move, then I'm able to look at them and make a little ooh, you know, to kind of play along with it. I think that what is the thing that makes it exciting, but also a challenge, because every year we're using different dancers. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we get a dancer that has maybe done it before, or a crew guy, but for the most part we're having to start from fresh every time, and that's difficult sometimes. Yeah. And some girls, they don't realize that they're claustrophobic, or that they're scared of being in these dark, magical places. But in the end, it always works out great.
Last question for you: What's the future of you and the future of magic and your involvement in this whole big giant world?
I do, you know, this has been a great company. They've been really good to me, and I think that I've given them a good product over time. So yeah, Halloween is one of my favorites, and it's a natural to have Halloween and comedy magic. So as long as I can keep doing this and keep cranking out new ideas, hopefully the park will keep bringing me back and back. You know, I'm following in the footsteps of the great comedian Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark. Mm-hmm. And now she's sort of retired from doing the Halloween haunt shows out in California. So that's going to open up more opportunities for me to appear in the other parks and kind of keep rocking it out as she has, you know. She's getting up there in age, still looks fantastic, so I'm hoping that I can do just as well as that. That would be a great dream.
Well, Ed, thank you so much.
Oh, man, thanks again.
Thanks again. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you. can see all the girls are stretching and getting ready, and I guess I should probably stretch and get ready too. Ready? Just. Time now for some sideshow entertainment. You see, ladies and gentlemen, in addition to being a master of magic and a conjurer, I am also the sideshow circus sword swallower. And then I started thinking, what could be more challenging, what could be more dangerous than swallowing the average sword? Well, tonight, I will swallow this balloon sword. Oh, it may not be razor sharp, but it's a known choking hazard. Folks, what you're about to see, especially the kids, do not try this at home. Go over to the neighbors, they don't care. Twizzlers. That was stupid. Sucker, huh? Let me make him into an animal so he's cute for the kids tonight. Into something really... What the... Oh, look, it's a worm. It's a tapeworm, actually. It's a tapeworm. That's not where it came from. Oh, look. There it is. Just a couple more twists. Isn't that cute? It's a...